Alright, you ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. Like jock jams. I am ready for this.
Okay, man. Alright. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music, and we're going to talk about some stuff we're listening to. Right now, we are on the list. I don't know what number it is. It doesn't matter. This week, we're talking about the album Rain Dogs by Tom Waits. So, yeah, sometimes we drink and cuss and say offensive shit, so you're going to have to live with that. And hope you enjoy it. My name's Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
What's up,
Also,
Bubba?
were you trying to do like a Tom Waits thing?
Yeah, I know.
You were trying to do that like gravelly voice and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not very good at it, in case you haven't figured that out. Yeah, that was totally my Tom Waits impression. So if you've never listened to Tom Waits, dear listener, that's not at all what he sounds like, but he does have that very gruff voice. So
It sounds like he gargled gravel for like 4 years of his life. He's fucking, he has a very, very deep voice.
Yeah.
And, I didn't remember where I knew Tom Waits from, but I watching the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. He was the devil in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that, I don't know if you ever seen it, but that's a good movie.
No.
It's a pretty good movie.
I haven't.
I believe it was Heath Ledger's last actual movie.
Okay.
And you know what? I know it was because he passed away during mid-recording, and Terry Gilliam, he's a director who's done amazing work. He did Brazil. He did a really good movie called The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen, which is very fun. He did Time Bandits. He did a lot of fun movies that are very weird.
Right on.
He started filming with Heath Ledger in mind, or as the kind of the foil to the movie, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And he passed away, and he's like, well, fuck. God damn it. Like, and they had all kinds of problems beforehand and with things and whatnot. But, a bunch of different actors decided that they would jump in and help out. So like Colin Farrell plays his part, Johnny Depp plays a part, and I think another person plays his part in different scenes that kind of works out.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Tom Waits is damn sure the devil, and that is very fitting with his voice.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is kind of shot too. Sorry.
That's all good, man. How you been?
Good, man. I'm officially on summer break.
Nice.
As of last week, and I have been, 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks, a week and a half now, and I have been living like a fucking savage. I've been at the lake for a week and a half now.
Nice.
Yeah, ever since Saturday we got out, I've been up at the lake and I've been fishing and taking care of all the properties. But I did find, during the course of things, we bought a house next to our cabin about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And the guy who owns the place has been telling us he wants to, clean it out and get all the things he wants out of it and all that kind of stuff. Well, he hasn't. So, he finally gave us the keys to the house so we can start cleaning shit out. He basically said, like, I want this, and that. Beyond that, whatever you're gonna do with it, go nuts.
Okay.
And we're like, okay. So we're like, fuck it. Let's start junking shit like right now, because there's a bunch of shit in here.
Yeah.
So in the course of things, I came across this, like those Rubbermaid bins.
Yeah.
But the big ones.
Uh-huh.
Like the real big ones.
Yeah.
I came across one of those, and it's full of records.
Nice.
Like full, like from end to end full of records.
That's awesome.
And I have found some gold in there, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found the Beatles' Help album.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I found Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Sweet.
I found Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I don't remember the album name.
Okay.
I found the first Alice Cooper album.
Oh, that's awesome.
I found, I know it's not Ozzy's first album because that's Paranoia, but the one after that is in there.
Okay.
I found like the Commodores. I found the best of the Bee Gees. I found, man, there's so much good, there's a lot of good shit in there.
Fucking A, Bubba.
Yeah, so I'm like, I struck gold record wise. So that made me happy.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that outside of catching about 25 catfish in like 5 days and killing gar and mowing the lawn and painting shit and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Just the problem with being at the lake is that you want to sit there and do nothing, but there's so much fucking shit to do.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and not do nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm. But having a good time. The boy came down. My mom picked him up on Monday, and he came down and he found out about Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yeah. Nice.
He is a fucking huge fan of that game.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves that game. Because he likes to fuck people, as you're painfully aware of.
I am, yeah. He pissed me right the fuck off. Play that stupid Mario game.
Yeah, he'd pick your ass up and throw you in the fucking water to kill you.
It's goddamn competitive. Or, cooperative, you piece of shit. Stop it.
Yeah. He hasn't gotten much better. But he played it, we played it like every night. He's a big fan. And he actually got to play he got my stepdad to play with him today.
Nice.
And Padre, oh my god, he was laughing so damn hard. He's like, I need a break. My sides are hurting too hard. Cause cause they were playing like the farm level. And it has that combine,
Yeah.
And so Padre would see his dead body roll over to the combine. He's laughing his ass off.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a fun week and a half, man.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I was alone for like most of the first week because I guess fuck it. And I just sat around. I played about 3 games of Arkham Horror.
Okay.
I was on a streak for a while until this week, and I think I won 1 out of 3.
Okay.
But beyond that, I won like 5 games in a row. So I was like, I'm due for some losses.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up with you, bub?
Oh, back to traveling for work on a pretty regular basis. So I'm down in Zapata.
In the feet?
I'm in the feet.
I gotta have the feet, mommy! Tomorrow is the day of the Carnival of Feet. There'll be feet there and feet, and don't forget the feet. I'll be there if I'm not somewhere else. I'm the only one at Carnival of Feet.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. That's from the Brack Show, sorry.
Yeah. I picked up, but, yeah, I'm in the Feet, Texas. We are, building a new, farm down here, wind farm. And, so, my boss and I came down to, I hadn't been down to this site yet. He had, but, so we came down here, spent a few days just, getting caught up on activities that were going on around here and kind of, just looking around and seeing, what are the things that we like, what do we not like, and what can be changed before, like, it's built. You know what I mean? Like, what can we change now that's gonna screw us over later kind of thing? If we don't. So, doing a lot of that. I got credits on, I was gonna say Chicken Horse. I got credits on Animal Crossing this week. I think last night. So.
Oh, you had KK show up?
Yeah. So yeah, I did that, with my shitty ass island. I got 3 stars.
How the fuck did your dog shit island get 3 stars?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I just kept listening to old Tom Nook, and he just kept saying, we need more people, or whatever the ratings lady is, Isabel. And she's like, we need more people. I was like, all right. So I got like 7 villagers on my island. Excuse me.
Damn, dog, you have more than me.
And then I was told that, oh, we need some more decorations. I'm like, how? How do we need more shit? Because there's shit everywhere. So I added a teacup ride and like a phone booth and a couple other things. And then I got my 3 stars and KK Slider came. And you better believe I didn't clean up all them weeds. Like, so it's just, I mean, I cleaned up a little, but I didn't completely clean my island at all. Yeah, it turns out you can have a trash island and still get your concert.
Well, there you go, man. Well, fucking A. That's fun.
Oh, and I designed my first custom design, which I texted you, and it's my Mr. Hanky flag.
Yeah, man, I did like that. The Mr. Hanky, it's a howdy ho. Yeah, man, that's cool, man. I dig that.
Yeah, so you can also use custom designs once you get the concert, and you can start making paths on your island. You can also purchase different path types, right? Like dirt and stone and all this stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You can also purchase the option to lay down a custom design as paths. So all of my paths are also my Mr. Hanky sign. So Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, guides you to the town square and the museum and the Nook shop and the clothing shop or whatever. So
Jesus, man, you've got like literature. You sound like the fucking communist regime, man.
Well, everything.
We will follow Mr. Hanky's the whole way. He's our one true God.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
You sound like Mao, man.
It's just howdy hoes all the way around. So, I was pretty proud of it. And that's where I stopped and all that stuff's real close to like the airport. So it's like, it's not like I had to make paths very far. And I wasn't going to do it to all the villagers' houses because they're on the other side of the fucking island. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of want to get into the terraforming and kind of make my island, cause like what I did with my island is my second tier is all like an orchard. So I have like all the different, I've kind of eradicated my, my native plant, which is the cherries.
Okay.
And I've planted everything else all along the second tier, like oranges, pears, and all that shit.
Yeah, cause you make more money that way.
Yeah, cause that's where I get my bells from. And, so I did that. And then on my third tier, I've done nothing but plant, like flowers.
Okay.
But the problem is I've planted so many that I can't get them to make new different varieties of plants.
So you gotta start digging shit up.
Yeah, I gotta like start moving stuff cause I have like a couple of blue plants, like I don't know what they're called exactly. I know I have blue wildflowers and then I have the blue and or the white and pink wildflowers that are like a hybrid. And then I have, the blue, they look like cattails almost.
Okay.
But they're blue.
Sure.
And that's kind of the only variety. I have a black lily that I just cannot get to cross with anything else. I don't know if I'm sure there's a way to look it up and all that, but I've kind of treated this game like school ground, like school, like the old days when you had to talk to your friends and learn shit and talk about stuff. Cause I don't want to look it up and okay, well this is how you do it. Like I don't want to do that. I want to listen to people like I listen to Animal Talking and I get some from them, but mostly friends of mine, they'll come to my island and tell me how to get things. Like one thing I learned was that to get ants is you have to take those the turnips and you have to let one of them rot.
Oh, okay.
And then once they rot, then you can collect an ant to put in your museum.
Yeah, I've taken a very different approach. I'm not trying to be a completionist at all. Like I think I've got a black tulip and like a black, I don't know, something else, orchid or lily or something, that just kind of happened. And, I was like, fuck it, that's cool. Cause like I don't water my fucking flowers every day.
Oh, I do. Oh man, I water my plants every day.
I don't water everything. Like I water occasionally, like every couple of days, or like if I'm dicking around, I'll be like, oh, water. You know, if I'm near a bunch of flowers and doing something else, I'll be like, oh, I'll water this while I'm here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm not super anal about it. And there's a little organization on my island. Like right next to the airport is like the town square and like the shops. And then there's a campsite way off on its own, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And then all of the villagers are pushed to the back right of the island. And then on my third tier is where I put my house because, come on, like, you know.
King should have fucked mountain.
Yeah. And like I've expanded my house to where I have the 3 rooms in the upstairs. I don't know if that's the last expansion. I'm still paying that off, but and then I've got all those rooms full. Like I've got a workshop and a little, one room is like, my back room is a workshop. My right room is like there's like a hammock and a surfboard and a campfire. It's like a beach.
Yeah.
And then my left room is, there's the turtle dinosaur fossil on display, and that's all that is. Cause I thought it was cool, so I was like, fuck it, that's all this room is. And then my upstairs room is like a rec room, so it's just like, there's like a pinball machine and like a guitar and a pool table and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
And then the main room of my house is just like garbage.
Just shit.
Dude,
I've got a fucking hoarder.
It is, dude. I've got a like a oil drum and like my bed is made out of hay and, I got someone gifted me the garbage pile wallpaper. So I put that in there. And so, I'm waiting on the garbage pile floor, but I haven't come across it and nobody's, sent it to me yet. So I'm waiting on that to complete the look, but it's just garbage. But there is like a little lacy doily looking rug in there to tie the room together.
Because nobody's fucked with that shit since like the 50s. It looks like the fucking house next door to me. There's all doilies and shit. And I'm pulling out bags of trash. It
was from the first time I saw Sahara and I was like, yeah, I'll buy a rug. And it was this like lacy doily thing. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah. With the paintball floors and garbage mountain walls. Great. All right, cool. Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah. Really ties the room together.
Yeah. The rug really ties the room together.
Dude, if the Big Lebowski rug is in this game, I need to find it. Cause that would be fantastic. Then I would just I would just need a 2x4 by the front door and be good. And then, you know, there's just like, in my yard, there's just like shit everywhere, you know, garden gnome, pink flamingo, barbecue, toilet, you know, the works, washing machine.
The normal fucking trailer park chic shit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I keep my washing machine in the front yard, you know.
Okay, who doesn't?
And so, yeah, there's just, so I've got Trash Island and it's great, man. But I have like, you know, Mr. Hanky Flag.
But I keep it clean.
Oh no, dude! Like, no. I don't keep it clean at all. There's trees.
No, I know. I'm fucking with you.
There's like my fruit trees have no organization. They're just wherever the fuck I decide. Like I was when I planted it. Like fuck it, this is a good spot.
Oh no, man. Oh no. Like there are random trees like in the first tiers. No, second tier. It's row by row. It is as close as I can get those trees to grow together. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking super anal about that shit.
No, I'm
Anyway.
not at all. My island's super cumbersome to even like walk around because there's just crap everywhere. So you're walking diagonally when you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. But I'm having fun with it all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much longer I'll play this game, but I feel like I got $60 worth out of it. So, or 50 or whatever.
Yeah,
I paid.
man, I got my money's worth for sure. Yeah. I'm a big fan.
I definitely want to do some terraforming now that I have that ability. Cause that unlocks after you get, KK, right?
KK,
So,
yeah.
So I got that. I definitely want to do some of that, but I haven't gotten around to it. Just cause there's places I want to put a bridge over my river, and it's like, well, you can't because, the fucking river's not wide enough, or it's like, there's like a little chunk of land sticking into where the bridge would go and shit like that. You know what I mean? And really, I only want the bridge there to make it easier for myself to get around. You know what I mean? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
That's enough. We've done our episode of animal talking now for 20 minutes.
So speaking of all this garbage and the living in filth, I think that kind of really blends into Rain Dogs, because this album talks about a lot about that that kind of in the lech of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was fucking, I'm reaching. Could you help me?
I don't know, man. I haven't done a lot of research on Tom Waits. I wrote notes for the first time in a while. But
Look at you.
Like, I guess what I need to ask, I don't know how much research you did, but what I need to ask is, where is Tom Waits from? Because, and the reason I ask this is because, like, I hear a lot of, like southern, like Louisiana, Mississippi, like, a lot of, like, that kind of, like, New Orleans kind of influence in his music writing.
Man, I couldn't tell you. I didn't look that up.
Okay,
I didn't.
well now,
I wouldn't know.
I figured you would, so since
No,
you didn't,
I didn't know where he's
now
from.
I have to.
Yeah.
But
But
he does have a website called tomwaits.com.
Well, why don't you look that up and I can pontificate a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Rain Dog, this is his 8th album that was actually released on September '85. And the most surprising thing for me is that this is self-produced.
Oh,
and
really? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And from what a lot of people say is that his album before this and the one after that is kind of a trilogy of, it's kind of a, oh god, what's the word? No, I can't even think of the fucking word. Anyway, the thing about this album, it's very, when you listen to it, it has a lot of, it's like down and out in London and Paris. It has a lot of urban depression in it. And it's part 2 of 3 of these collective albums. And, you know, and listening to this album, I felt like there was a common theme or a story going on, like a concept. And this is like the down and out stage. That's what I was looking for, is concept album. And so what a lot of people say is that this one, the one before this album, this one and the next one is all a complete concept album that's broken up into 3 parts.
Okay.
So this is
maybe
like
I'll have to
part
listen to
2
those.
or 3. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, so I looked it up. He's from fucking Southern California, like, or from California, and then moved to New York after he married his wife. So, but he does have a lot of jazz influence, is what it said on his Wikipedia. So, and I definitely hear that. But this man, I don't know, man, I got a lot of, like, Mississippi Delta kind of influences, like, cause he uses the shit out of, like, marimbas and accordions and, like, I don't know, just goofy shit. Like, and the way he times his music and the way that he keys his music just really make me think of of Southern jazz and Southern blues, and like, so I don't know, man. His influence, he must really like that culture and that of music, because it's real heavy in this album, and maybe it's not in his other albums, and this was, you know, like you said, conceptual, so maybe his other stuff isn't like this, but honestly, I don't think I could have named a single Tom Waits song before I listened to this.
Me either. And that's what's kind of interesting about experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Because we both came into this fresh. We had never, I knew of Tom Waits, but never listened to his work.
For sure.
And I think...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to say that this is very interesting. This is a very, very interesting album. It hit me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It hit me musically, and it hit me in like his wordsmith, because he uses a lot of weird...
Dude, he's a poet.
Yeah, he's a poet. And he uses terms of phrases that I had never heard of or recognized.
Yeah.
And I had to look up, most of my time was just looking up what he was talking about when he says things.
Oh yeah.
To understand his lingo.
I couldn't tell you what any of these songs are actually about. I have no fucking clue. Except for like, well, maybe Ninth and Hennepin, because it's a song about a bar and the girl that works there, but even that might be like coded language, and I'm not really sure. Like, I can't tell you dick about what any of these are about, lyrically speaking, because he is very deep in his lyrics, and on top of that, he's difficult to understand in the right kind of way. Like, I don't want to say that as a knock against him, because this is a man who makes that fucking gravelly, gruff voice really work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but I really like this album. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I think we're both gonna show our cards here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I really like this album for a number of reasons.
Yeah, me too. There's some really good stuff here. There's some not great stuff here, but there's some really good fucking stuff here.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. But before we get into all of the things we like and don't like, I just want to make a couple of highlights real quick.
Okay.
This whole album is it definitely sounds like a fucking Charles Bukowski. Like, this whole album is like Charles Bukowski, for sure.
Okay.
And it really is, man. It sounds like that, or like Down and Out in London and Paris. It's the whole theme in this album is those people who are on the fringe of society.
Okay.
Even when they're not, it's either on the fringe looking in or in the fringe looking outward.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that, I mean, God, this is a very dark, it's a darker album, for sure. Which I'm a very big fan of. But it kind of breaks, as far as like themes go, is like musically, I can tell that there are definitely blues, there's definitely jazz, there are some ballads, and then a category that I call other, because I can't quite put them into a hard category.
I can categorize other. It's called Frank Zappa.
Maybe. I mean, maybe because for the other category, I would put in Singapore, Clap Hands, Symmetry Polka, Ninth and Hennepin, and Union Square.
Well, man, the thing is, like, so listening to this album, and I listened to this album a bunch, but
I did too.
Listening through this album, man, I kept thinking, man, this reminds me of fucking Frank Zappa, and I could not figure out why. I just, for the life of me, like, I just could not figure out why. And, and then it hit me, like, oh, it's because of the strange key signatures and, he uses upbeats sometimes here and there, and also the goddamn marimba. Frank Zappa loved to use that marimba in his songs, and Tom Waits uses it heavily. I think it's a marimba. It's something along those lines.
Yeah, no, it's a marimba for sure.
And
the one that's in like
it's in like every other song. Uses it heavily, and so did Zappa, and so that made me it clicked with me when I was driving one day, and I was just like, oh, duh, like it's the marimba. That's why it reminds me, because I don't know another artist that uses it as heavily as these two. So that, I think that subconsciously reminded me a lot of Zappa. And also just the weirdness of it all in general, I think. Because there's some weird stuff here. For fuck's sake, the first song, Singapore, is a sea shanty.
Yeah. And from your perspective, you're more in tune with Zappa, where I know more about Primus, and right. I feel like this, like Singapore for sure that sounds like a Primus song. Same thing with like Cemetery Polka. It's like a Primus song, like those wacky, like offbeat, like kind of almost circusy.
Yeah.
Sea shanty, like those off-kilter songs are in the vein of those people who are just wacky for being wacky.
Yeah, and he plays with notes that aren't. I don't know how to word this in a music theory way, because while I like to play music and listen to music, I don't know dick about theory. But he plays a lot with like minor keys, or maybe it's that he plays with major keys and he puts minor notes in it, or maybe he's doing both and using notes that aren't in the keys, to make it sound eerie and, circusy, or maybe it's like not syncopated or whatever the right term is. I don't know. Music theory people help me out, because I don't know what he's doing, with his key signatures that makes it sound so eerie and odd and carnival-esque, with some of these songs, I should say. Not all of them. But he does, and he does it really well. Like, the man understands what he's writing, very well. And it really works for his style of music.
For sure. And I've actually read a bunch of his interviews and stuff like that. And he's very much, from what I gathered, he's very much into getting the genuine sound as opposed to doing a synth. So he said, there was a quote about him like, well, fuck it. If I have to slam a 2x4 on a chest of drawers, I'm gonna get that damn sound, as opposed to pushing a button on the synth or whatever.
Right.
So,
right.
But also, a funny thing about this album is there are 23 different musicians working on this album.
That's not surprising.
23. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, that's nutso.
Fucking wild.
But it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Hey, and, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, beyond that, before getting into the songs and things like that, there is one person, Mark Ribot.
Okay.
He's worked with a ton of people, mostly like John Zorn. He worked on, that Robert Plant and Alison Krauss album that we talked about.
Okay.
He's a jazz guy. He worked with the Black Keys, Elton John, Mike Patton. He worked but this was like his first, like, true album that he worked on with somebody. And I think he's the jazz coordinator and maybe the guitarist, I believe. And he just knocks it right the fuck out of the park.
He really did,
fucking arranged all the jazz stuff, and he does a fucking good job.
It's phenomenal, especially the way it's worked into some of this really odd music. Yeah, it's really good.
So we've also, I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen, a person do kind of, do different, styles of music. You know what I mean? So I kind of, for me, I feel like this should fall in somewhere with like Refuse, Refuse, where they did like the Punk to Come, the Shape of Punk to Come, where they do like these different styles and stuff like that. I like that one. I thought of, it made me think of that, and made me think of Elton John, like, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, where he's trying different styles and stuff like that. And there was another one that we went through, and I can't remember at the moment, but about.
Yeah.
So there are 4 different artists that I can kind of relate him to. And what I mean by that is that they tried to do an experimental thing in whatever they do. So one of them was like we saw that in Paul Simon's Graceland.
Yeah.
Where he did, he had different kinds of songs, but they're all varied, right?
Right.
We saw that in Refused.
We did.
Because they did, the Shape of a Punk to Come, and they had different kinds of styles of punk, what could be punk. And I'll even say John Lennon.
Yeah.
He did different styles for the most part.
He did. Yeah.
And I would also say Elton John with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
Which has been rated way too fucking high, for sure. But the difference is, I think outside of Elton John, these 3, including Tom Waits, these 3 other bands, what they did was they kind of tried to get a sound in that ballpark. They didn't go fucking all over the place like Elton John did.
Right.
They kind of like pigeonholed themselves into, we're doing this style, and we're gonna variate in that style.
Yeah.
So
I would
feel
agree
like
with that. But at the same time, with this album, like, he does, I think, yes, there's a couple of things that I think go outside of his main style on this album. Like the ballads, and he does an acoustic picking song that's more in line with like country.
Well, I call that a blues song. Are you talking about Gun Street Girl?
No. I was talking about Blind Love.
Blind Love, I kind of put that in the ballad category. Because I have blues, jazz, and ballads.
Yeah.
And weird shit.
But I thought it reminded me a lot of like just an old country love song. Whereas, fuck.
Well, here, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put the songs what I think are in said category, and you can agree or disagree.
Okay, sure.
So for blues, Big Black Mariah.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. How about Jockey Full of Bourbon?
No, I wouldn't put that in blues.
Why not?
Jockey Full of Bourbon, I got kind of a 60s, 70s, almost lounge kind of sound. There was like a surf guitar, was kind of the guitar tone in there. There was some bongos. Yeah. It honestly, so this was a song I was going to talk about, but fuck it, we'll do it now.
Let's talk about it now. Yeah, for sure.
It made me think of Fear and Loathing.
Okay. Yeah.
Specifically like the Lizard Lounge scene. It made me think this would be the music that was this would be the type of music that was actually playing in that lounge.
Heard. Yeah.
So, and the weirdness of it all was like, but this is the style of music that might have been playing, but this may have been the song that they heard all fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's kind of off still.
Cause they're on acid and shit. For sure. I like this song. I like that. I'm glad you stopped here because I like this song because if you listen to the, it's got a Latin, if you listen to the percussion and all that, it's kind of a Latin feel.
100%.
But the guitar is like surfer rock.
It is.
Like 60s, 70s, like 60s surfer rock.
It's that real like twangy Stratocaster, Telecaster sound.
Yeah.
But it's got real heavy reverb and vibrato in it. So it's totally surf guitar. And the style of playing, is also totally surf guitar. Straight out of like the 60s or 70s. But it's also, like you said, it's got
marambas, it's got
bongos, it's got
bongos and shit, and the cascaraza, whatever the fuck, the shakers, whatever you call it. Yeah.
So
it's got all that kind of shit in the background. But does that discount blues? Just because it's not American blues, is it not a different style of blues?
It just didn't resonate with me that way.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
So anyway, but it was a fun song for sure. But
no, it's a great song. It's a really good song. Okay,
but yeah, I don't know that I put it in the category of blues more than I do like surf rock and lounge music kind of mashed together.
Okay. All right, but since we're on the subject, let me get through my two notes on Chocolate Full of Bourbon. Edna Milton. He talks about Edna Milton. And she was the madam of the Chicken House, which was the whorehouse, the best little whorehouse in Texas. That's the one in LaGrange.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's who he's talking about. Edna Milton does this and she's dressed in this or whatever. And then, another thing he says is drinking from a broken cup. And that means that basically, from what I've read, let me preface this. From what I've read, drinking from a broken cup in Islamic society is very taboo.
Okay,
like that is someone who is on the dark side of the law, if you will. They're kind of they're sketchy people.
Sure.
Yeah. So. But those are the only two notes I have for that song. I'm trying to cut it down. I'm not going to analyze the song. I'm just saying there's a whorehouse and there's a guy who's shady.
Okay.
You figure out the rest.
All right. Well, let's continue with your categorization. Yeah. Is there anything else you've got? Blues?
In blues, yes. I have Rain Dogs. I think Rain Dogs is a blues song.
Okay. I'll give you that one. Sure, I'll give you that one. I kind of thought that was that song kind of, it's in the middle of the album and it kind of returns to that kind of shanty kind of sound. I would put it more akin to like that sea shanty kind of sound that he's going for with like Singapore. Cause the marimba returns real heavy, but there is like an accordion or organ intro. I'm not sure exactly which instrument it is. I think accordion, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
But I'll give it to you. What else?
It felt like it just more felt like that to me. Also, before we move on from Rain Dog, the one thing that I didn't understand was Rose of Tralee.
Okay.
We dance with the Rose of Tralee.
Yeah.
So apparently that is that's like an Irish, that's like a prized dancer in Ireland.
Okay.
That's the number one dancer in Ireland. So like we danced with the Rose of Tralee and she had raven black hair, which is odd because if you're in Ireland, you don't have raven black hair. But she was the best dancer in Ireland. Also, I'm gonna go back real quick. I'm sorry. I hate to do this, but we're doing this. The Big Black Mariah.
Yes.
Great song.
It really is.
The guitar player is Keith Richards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really is.
That's really fun. Okay.
And there's a fun story about that. Is that Tom Waits was trying to explain to Keith like how to play this song, right? He's like, hey, do this. But Tom so finally he said, if you like move like this, and he like moved his body in the way, like, you go, and Keith was like, why didn't you do that in the first place? And he played that song, like, and he fucking wrote he played the guitar part. Like, here you go.
That's
fantastic. What I'm looking for. Why didn't you say that in the first place? Here you go.
That just makes me like the song even more. Cause I only wrote a couple notes on this one in that it was bluesy. And I thought that was fun. It was a really fun song. And also the drums stuck out to me on this one because they're very tom heavy.
Yeah, for sure. And they have like the rakes and stuff like that. Or they're,
yeah. Like there's almost no snare in it. And so I thought that was a really fun, like, addition to the song as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like toned down drums for sure.
Right.
For sure,
anyway,
for sure.
I thought that was really fun. What else do you throw in blues?
In the blues, I would
Gum Street Girl.
100%. So the main riff in this song, I'm not sure what the instrument is. I'm not sure if it's a resonator guitar or if it's a banjo. It sounds a lot like a banjo.
It's both. It's a guitar and a banjo.
That makes sense.
It's a banjo for sure.
Because I kept going back and forth. I was like, man, that's definitely a banjo, but it also sounds like he's playing a resonator guitar. Cause it's got that twang and that
tinny sound
of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's got that real. It's tinny, but it's also got that tightness of it, like a banjo has. Mm-hmm. And super southern Georgia blues feel to it. Mm-hmm. And wonderful. Also in here we get something really fun that he does with the downbeat. I don't think it's not every downbeat. I think it's like the top of each measure or the end of each measure. But you get the anvil hit to like mark the beginning or the end of a measure.
Yeah.
That just that ping. Yeah. And that was really fun. So I don't know what this song exactly is about, but it's top notch. It's way up there for me.
Oh man, I already know. I got your top 3 pegged.
Maybe
I think I do. Anyway,
maybe you do. But
Gun Street Girl, man, I'm gonna tell you this much. I like this song so much. I picked up my guitar and learned how to play it.
Nice.
I fucking love this song. It is.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get a banjo.
And also, it's a fuck you breakup song.
Yeah. Okay. It really is, Brad. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because he does say never gonna kiss a Gun Street girl again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, I love this song. Mm-hmm. It hit me in a really good way.
Yeah.
Just the fucking banjo riff and the guitar riff that accompanies it and the fucking anvil and just like the southern, like I
love that it's just super simple. You know? It's super simple. And you don't have to do too much to make a great song. And this is a great expression of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, do you have...
I have one more for blues.
I think I know what it is.
What do you think?
Go ahead. I think it's Walk in Spanish.
Walk in Spanish down the hall. Yep, that's what it is. Yeah, Walk in Spanish.
It's a very blues song too. Mm-hmm. And so this one there's some organ or more accordion, I'm not sure. It reminds me again of like 50s, 60s rock.
It almost felt like 12 bar.
I'm not sure if it is. I'm not a music theory guy, so I'm not sure, and I didn't count it out, cause I was driving and I didn't want to like stop and start like ticking to try and figure it out. I wrote more something, but I can't read my own handwriting. I'm not sure what it was. If it was, who knows?
But Walking Spanish, it did have a lot of. I mean, it felt like 12 bar with like a lot of hammering and stuff like that. But it also had like kind of it did have a bit of stuff on the back, like a Latin sound on the background. Not too much, but just a little bit.
Is this one of the ones where you looked up the term? Because I have no fucking clue what walking Spanish down the hall means.
That's talking about the in the like the zoot suit style.
Okay.
Where he walks Spanish down the hall, like no, there's a term for it. The Chico. Damn it, there's a term for it.
Machismo?
No, not machismo.
Zuko sounds right,
Zuko,
with like zoot suit, but I'm not sure. I think I pick up the vibe you're putting down.
It's like there was a term in that day that I can't recall at the moment. There was a time.
Words.
Yeah, words escape me. But yeah, no, walking Spanish down the hall is very much, I think it's that zoot suit strut and lean kind of thing.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's bluesy, but it's not like, it's got that very classic rock feel, but it's also got that bluesy feel, and he merges those styles well. Which I mean, it's all stuff that
it kind of
came
reminds
out of the same era.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Weasels from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like the way that their swagger, you know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
That kind of shit. That's where I was in their vein. Anyway, so those are the blues songs, and we disagreed. The jazz songs, I think, number one for sure is Tango to the Soar. Yeah, yep.
That's fucking... So this song, man, this song was really fun. I'm not... You were saying that Jockey Full of Bourbon was about a lady that ran a cat house. I got the feeling that this song was more about a cat house and or like a gambling hall or both. But I wasn't sure because he uses a lot of fucking euphemisms that I don't understand. But he comes in with this stumbling piano riff, like you'd expect a drunk man to play a piano. Mm-hmm. But it's super fun. Mm-hmm. And just let me fall out of the window with confetti in my hair. Yeah. Dude, and fucking play jacks are better on the carpet by the stairs. Like, I fucking love this shit. This was really good.
Yeah, no, I did hyperanalyze this song because I do love this song. Tango to the Soar is about, it's about a man who thinks he's gonna die, and he wants he's asking somebody else to set up his funeral arrangement.
Okay, so I got this way off.
Yeah, so they play their Tarantella, which is a song, which is a southern Italian dance. And, long story short, yeah, there's a lot of things about that Tarantella, but it's like pre-Christian dance that they did with like spiders and shit like that. Anyway, no man, this is a New Orleans funeral song.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Definitely a fucking New Orleans funeral song.
Makes a lot of sense now that you say it. Like now that you frame it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, man, this is a New Orleans funeral song. Like, because he says the line, the daisies will have to do. And that's those daisies are not, they're frowned upon for funerals. Because.
Right, they're a weed, basically.
Well, no. Well, daisies are more for life and new birth. So,
okay.
And also they're cheap. So he's like, daisies will have to do because he's fucking poor and cheap. And then he says,
right.
Playing, double jacks will do or whatever. He's playing cards with a guy in a hallway.
Yeah, jacks are better.
He's playing poker with a guy. So, jacks are better, that means you have to have at least two pair of jacks to win.
A pair of jacks, yeah. Pair of jacks or better is the winning hand.
Yeah. So this is definitely, I felt like this was definitely a New Orleans funeral song. This is the most jazzy fucking song. Well, one of the most jazzy songs.
Yeah, it is. I would agree with you there. It's a lot of fun.
I love it.
I do too.
I love it.
Okay, what else?
Midtown for sure.
Yeah.
Midtown is definitely like it's like the seatbelts.
Dude, okay, so I can see where you're coming from. It's got a lot of fast horns. It's an instrumental. It's real short. I didn't pick up seatbelts. What I thought of was the intro song to the Venture Brothers.
Yeah, yeah. But it's still that same style.
Yeah, it really is. But this is much more American. And you know, the Seatbelts are a Japanese band?
I believe so.
But
I don't know.
Either way, it's super jazzy and like there's a lot. What made me think of the Venture Brothers is how fast it is.
It is fast. Yeah, it's a faster pace than like Tank. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tank is a definitely it's still a faster jazz song, but it's not quite this fast. And I don't know, I didn't. That's not what I immediately thought of, but I can absolutely see where you would, and I agree with you. It's definitely in that same like general universe, but it was really fun, and this is a fantastic little short, just
it's like
nugget of jazz.
It's like a minute 45 of just straight jazz, and it's fantastic.
It is. It's wonderful.
It really is. And this one I'm not 100% on that, but Bride of Rain Dog, I think it's more jazzy than bluesy.
I think so too. This one is also an instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second time on the album that I felt like I was at a fucking carnival.
Yeah, it gets wacky, for sure.
Yeah, and it's like there's from out of the gate, he's got a lot of eerie tones.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the second time on the album that I got like straight up carnival vibes, and the first time was Cemetery.
Cemetery Polka?
Yeah, Cemetery Polka. That was the first time I felt some carnival vibes, and this was the second time. Like, there's always some eerie stuff going on, and I also got this song felt a little heavy for me.
Yeah.
And I got some, obviously Bride of Rain Dog makes you think of Bride of Frankenstein, but I think that was entirely intentional, because it fits, and it's wonky, and it doesn't, there's some stumbling, but there's some finding themselves, and tons of fun.
Yeah, it was almost like Rain Dog reprised in this darker light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that and I feel you.
Anyway, great song.
And then I go to ballads, and there's Hang Down Your Head.
Hang Down Your Head. Yep.
That's a ballad. Yep. Time is a ballad.
Time is a ballad.
Blind Love.
Blind Love, yep.
Downtown Train.
Downtown Train. Yeah, so, well, like I said earlier, Blind Love kind of reminded me of a country love song.
Uh-huh.
More so than a rock ballad, but whatever. It wasn't really for me anyway. Downtown Train. It reminded me of a 70s ballad. It also reminded me of The Police.
I put a star next to Downtown Train and Union Square.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's twisting the knife onto, Bruce Springsteen. I feel like I feel like he's mocking Bruce Springsteen for Union Square, like doing the hype up Bruce Springsteen, and then doing the Downtown Train, like the lower ballady Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, because Union Square is faster. It's got a more of a boogie slash like 60s rock kind of feel. There's a great little saxophone bit in it. And for some reason, I don't remember why. I think it's the intro, but can't 100% remember why, but Downtown Train made me think of The Police for some reason. Not so much the singing, obviously, but I think it was the intro of the song. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like the ending or the chorus. I don't remember, but I definitely got some vibes there that I was like, oh. Anyway,
And the
I don't have anything else to back that up.
yeah, I got nothing. For sure. And then, Anywhere I Lay My Head, I think that's a ballady song.
Yeah, I got that too. But I also got like kind of again, with Anywhere I Lay My Head, I also kind of got a jazzy lounge kind of feel out of it. Like it kind of reminded me of like a piano lounge where you've got like a hot girl laying on the piano singing a song, but instead of it's a bunch of jazz horns with an old man with a gritty voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but
okay. Instead of Jessica Rabbit, you get fucking Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, yeah. And instead of a piano, you get Louis Armstrong. Yeah.
Why do you do the things you do?
Yeah. And so it was very confusing for me. Because, it's hard to say, well, this jazz horn, ballad sounds like a female-led piano lounge song, because they're very much not in the same world. But for some reason, that's what this song made me think of.
Is Jessica Rabbit?
No, just like that kind of feeling, because it sounds like he's fucking singing to like a lounge or something. With, like you said, that, what do you do, like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I see it. But however.
I'm realizing the more I talk about it, I'm realizing how dumb the comparison is, but that's what popped into my head.
That's fine. Alright. I think the only song we haven't talked about in depth is, I think Clap Hands.
Clap Hands, yeah.
I love that. That song is fucking weird as shit. It talks about like insanity and humanity of life. I love the line that we can always find a millionaire to shovel all the coal, because they talk about it. When I read an article about Tom Waits talking about this song, and he said the millionaires and the bourgeoisie like to come down to where the poor folk live and just kind of see
be hipster
that.
About it.
Yeah, just to see that and just to and I think that theme comes along throughout the entire album of that seeing rich people come down to the fringes and then having that animosity toward them.
Sure.
There's that. Cemetery Polka for sure. Cemetery Polka was actually written about his actual family. So when he talks about Uncle Phil and those are all like literally his aunts and uncles who are fucking batshit crazy.
One of my notes for this is, how many uncles does this man have?
No, dude.
Because I don't know, he only talks about 2 or 3, but I thought it was really fun. How he talked about them.
As a mistress.
That was Filipino or
she's Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican,
she has
with a wooden leg.
With a wooden leg. He's a
Puerto Rican,
and he's like literally those are all his aunts and uncles, and he like talked about that. He's like, I will never talk about my family in music ever again because I've gotten so much shit for this. Well, Cemetery Polka is.
To go back just a bit, like Singapore, we introduce a bunch of themes in marimba and stuff, but Clap Hands the marimba is super prevalent.
It is. I think here's the thing about that,
and it's a super eerie song, and it's like it's when you get you realize with the sea shanty of Singapore that it's going to be eerie, but Clap Hands makes it more so. Like he goes from Singapore to Clap Hands, and he just steps everything up.
Yeah, I think like Clap Hands, it sounds like acid rain dropping down a lead pipe. It's like doom, 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 doom. Like it has that. But I mean, we hear that sound throughout the entire. Like we hear that in Ninth and Hennepin. We hear that in
we do, but it's like it's featured in Clap Hands.
We hear that in Diamonds and Gold.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you off of Cemetery Polka.
No.
I just wanted to just mention that for a second.
No, for sure, because that sound, that rain dropping down like a pipe.
Yeah.
Like with that marimba sound, you hear that in Clap Hands. You hear that in Ninth and Hannafin. You hear that in Diamonds and Gold.
And we didn't talk about Ninth and Hannafin much.
Oh.
Okay. All right. We didn't talk about Diamonds and Gold much. It didn't do a lot for me.
I love Diamonds and Gold.
I thought it was good.
It's in that same vein of Clap Hands, and it's that.
It is. It's very eerie,
like gritty, eerie, like awkward sounding.
It certainly wasn't one of my P songs, but it wasn't one of my favorites either.
For sure, I love Diamonds and Gold. It's a good song.
Yeah,
I couldn't quite analyze it, so I didn't put it anywhere.
But also, can we talk about fucking Singapore for a second? Like how he talks about in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is king. Like,
well, that's Euripides or whatever. That's Euripides.
It's a great line.
Oh no, I love the captain is a one-armed dwarf who's throwing dice on the wharf.
Yeah.
Also, actually, since you brought that up, I'm gonna say one thing, and then that's the line of the album. The line of the album is a song. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I would agree. Okay, all right.
So he talks about the land of Nod, and I didn't know what the fuck that was.
I don't either.
That is the land of Nod is where Cain was exiled to. So Abel and Cain, when Cain killed his brother, I traveled to the land of Nod. That's the shitty fucking. We're in the underbelly of the world,
right?
And so that's why Singapore. Don't fall asleep while you're ashore because you will get your fucking throat cut. This whole fucking place is shit.
But I mean,
balls.
Dude, okay, but the balls of this man starting an album with a goddamn sea shanty. Like, what?
Look, we were both here when you listened to this song for the first time. Did it not throw you sideways?
Yeah, it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. The first time I heard this song, I was like, what the fuck am I getting myself into?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit. Okay.
I didn't know I was a Tom Waits fan until listening to this album.
Until listening to the first song in the album.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I don't know. I think we've gone through a lot of this. Do you have any P songs?
I have a couple. Time.
Yeah. Time. Yep, me too.
Time and Hang Down Your Head.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Time, for sure.
I would also throw, well, let's see. Hang Down Your Head is the first song I wrote meh next to. Time was the second.
Mm-hmm. Because it's next one stretch. And because it's like one after another. Yeah.
The next one was Blind Love. I didn't care.
It's fine.
Downtown Train didn't do much for me.
Yeah. I only wrote that down because I feel like he was knocking, like that Union Square, I feel like he was fucking with Bruce Springsteen.
Maybe.
I think he was like, kind of jabbing at him.
So those were my two additional, Blind Love and Downtown Train. Yeah. I didn't care for those.
Also, I do have to mention that, yeah, so we got through our P songs, but, the line of the album for me is in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's making feet for children's shoes.
Okay. Is that talking about, is that talking about foot binding?
Nope.
Okay.
Making feet for children's shoes. That's fucking.
Oh!
It took me a long time to fucking get that. Making feet for children. Oh, you're fucking.
Yep.
You're making a child to put
You're making a child.
to making. Yeah. It took me a long time to get that.
Well, Singapore's kind of in that part of the world where foot binding is like a thing.
I get it, but
so that's why I went there with that line. But yeah, no, that's a great way. Man, you opened my eyes. Now I got a new way of saying fucking.
That's layers on layers of like talking about fucking, right? Like that's
it is.
It took me a minute. I was like, what the fuck? Making feet for oh, you're making the fucking person to put in the shoes. Holy shit.
Okay, yeah.
It took me a long time. Mm.
No, that's really good. Yeah, mine was One-Eyed Man is King in the Land of the Blind.
Yeah. All right, so you ready for top threes? Or,
Sure, yeah. We've been going at it for a hot minute.
Well, if you have something else to say, go ahead and say it.
I really don't. We've gushed on this a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think rightfully so because, well, so here's something I've noticed about when we tend to be like overly positive on stuff that we aren't familiar with that we actually like. And we tend to super gush about it because it's like, oh, this is a new thing for me and I didn't know I liked this, like with Elton John. Although my rating stands Elton John, it should probably be like the number one album. Cause God, it's good.
I was gonna
Goodbye
say,
Yellow
like,
Brick Road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't backpedal on Goodbye.
No. I'm not gonna backpedal that. But at the same time, I'm like, we were super gushy about it. And the same with like,
Off the Wall.
But we were familiar with Michael Jackson. I was gonna say the same with, the Kyle Collins album that we did, the super jazzy emo rock album. Fuck, what are they called?
Thank You,
I went to see him in concert. Thank You, Scientist. God damn, how could I not think of that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, it pops up in my
Dude,
my
are you gonna
random all the time.
Backpedal on Thank You, Scientist?
I'm not. I think that album's great. But I do think that we gush, like we just fucking gush the shit out of stuff that, cause like, okay, so like Zeppelin, right? Mm-hmm. I knew I loved that album.
Okay.
But I didn't talk about it with the same kind of affection, and I still love that album, but I didn't talk about it with the same kind of affection that I talk about these other albums, including this one, because I'd heard it before. Same with Clapton and J.J. Cale, although that one I probably gushed about pretty hard, but, I think we're turned up to 11 with our positivity when we find something we like that we're not familiar with. Does that make sense?
For sure. I mean, I wasn't going to rate this. Okay. I understand what you're saying. But
I'm not saying that we're wrong.
Okay.
We're absolutely right to do so.
Oh, so we should go back and listen to fucking Slanted and Enchanted?
No.
Because we were too negative on that. Like,
no.
What's your equilibrium? Is what I'm saying.
I guess I didn't have one. It was just something that I just thought about on the spot. I was like, man, we're like super positive when we actually like something we're not familiar with.
We were kind of mediocre with Paul Simon, and that was new. And I liked Paul Simon. I liked him a lot.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
I mean, fuck John Lennon. Like he had 2 songs, and fuck that. Tommy was dog shit.
Well, okay. I don't know. Maybe it's an unfounded thought. It was literally a thought off the top of my head. So that was all. I normally don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so you can just can discount.
And you continue to do so.
Yeah. I have no shame. I have no shame about it. Anyway, let's go to top threes. What's your number 3?
Right. My number 3 is, hold up. I've got yours pegged. And I want to play a game. Let's play a game.
Hold up. I don't have mine pegged, so let me write them down so that we can play this game.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3. Give me your number 3, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna write down my top 3 so we can play this. So we can play the dating game.
Hold on, but also I'm gonna add a 4th that I might not have known.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna add a fourth, and I think it's gonna be... I think it's gonna be that one. Okay. I'm gonna add a fourth, just for an outlier. Hey, my number 3 is Tango to the Shore.
Okay.
I fucking love this song. That is just goddamn the bluesy fucking that New Orleans sound, and like that like it's kind of like a drunkard swagger sound to it. Like it's so fucking perfect, and like he's like setting up his own funeral and all that stuff. It's so fucking gorgeous. I love that song. I love Tango to the Shore. It's fantastic.
I'm very much right there with you.
Okay. Alright, so what's your number 3?
I thought we were playing the dating game on that one. You were gonna guess my 3.
Oh, I think your number 3 is,
Well, hold on. Cause I'm gonna throw a fourth in there too, because my number 3 and 4 are very much
close to each other.
Man, I've got like 3 songs contending for number 3.
You gotta make a choice, dog.
Alright, I think I have, I'll tell you what all was contending. I think I've actually got a top 5 for this one.
Well, there are 19 songs, so we can go 4. We can go 4. Let's go 4.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go 4. Let's go 4.
Okay, well then, alright, then what's your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be... Shit. My number 4 is going to be Singapore.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
My number 4 is going to be Singapore.
Okay, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Alright, so
in contention to your 3 and 4, I'm gonna say 2 songs.
Okay.
So, for contention for 3 and 4, I believe it's gonna be either Singapore or, Walking Spanish. No?
Nah. 3 and 4 are gonna be Big Black Mariah and Tango to the Shore. I'm right there with you with Tango to the Shore.
I fucked that up.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Tango to the Shore is a fucking great song.
It's so good. I love Big Black Mariah, but I think Tango's better.
I think Tango is like, it's just off the cuff of like, it's like 2 beats down from All the Young Girls Love Alice.
Dude, it's
like it really is, man.
And then the number 5 that doesn't make the 4 cut, it would be Cemetery Polka for me. I love that song.
Yeah, Clap Hands was number 5
or Walking
for me.
Spanish. I'm not sure. That could be in contention for number 5 too. Anyway, what's your number 2?
Balls. My number 2 is Ninth and Hennepin.
Okay, when you said hold on, I figured it was in your top 3.
Yeah, Ninth and Hennepin. That is,
dude. This fucking Sin City Noir narrative. It's
a beautiful soliloquy of just a guy talking about the shit he lives in. It's Charles Bukowski. It's literally Henry Chinaski from all of Bukowski's books, just walking down the street. If it's not a chapter from his books, I swear to God, it's fucking crazy. All the birds look like, all the umbrellas look like dead birds. Oh my God. The tattoo girl, like, she had a teardrop for every year he was gone. Nothing $100 wouldn't fix. Oh my fucking God, dude.
Okay, so that's my number. So between One-Eyed Man and Nothing $100 Wouldn't Fix, that was my other line that was in contention for top line of the album, cause it's so good. Like, the only reason this song doesn't make my top 5 is cause it's not really a song. It's more of a poem. With music backing. Like, I love the walking bass / marimba melody that he has going on here. Like, they work so well together. But it's a narrative. It's not, to me, it doesn't qualify.
It's a soliloquy. It's literally him just talking about the shit that he goes through. I fucking love this song, but it's so open, and it kind of draws the album together because it really hardens the idea that we're in the shit of the shit. And then you look at all the other songs, like this is the song that sets the stage for what you're going, like, this is the, like, if
it's the source of his energy.
Exactly. Like, this is the launch pad for what happens next. Like, yeah, you might be a fucking sailor, but this is where you port, and you're in New York, and this is the fucking night of Hennepin. This is home. Yeah. This is where you fucking,
I'm right there with you. I loved this. I just ate it up. It was, it is.
It's fucking gorgeous. I love Ninth and Hennepin.
Yeah, I do too. It just didn't qualify for me.
Okay.
Song-wise.
I get that. I understand, but goddamn, it's fucking.
But you're right. Like, this is not something I would ever skip when it comes on.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't, but I'm glad I did. Does that make sense?
And by the way, listening to Tom Waits like 6 times in a row has fucked up my Spotify suggestions in a really wonderful way. Like, I guess Kirsten hadn't been on my Spotify in a while, and I had listened to this album like 4 or 5 times, and I hit my Discover Weekly, and so along with like all of the normal stuff that gets put in there was some real goofball stuff, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't write it down, but there was some real goofball stuff that got like just kind of lobbed in there, and I think it's because of Tom Waits, and I love it.
Yeah, I just looked at my Spotify today, and he's my top artist of all time. I listened to his album so many fucking times. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Okay, but, Shane, so what is my number 2?
Your number 2 is going to be Gun Street Girl.
Nah, it's Singapore.
That was number 3.
No, number 3 was Tango Till They Soar.
No, what my number 3 for you was going to be Singapore.
I know, but I told you it was Tango Till They Soar.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think I get a 4th so you didn't have,
it doesn't matter.
Walking Spanish, right?
No, I didn't.
But Singapore is there.
Yeah, Singapore is my number 2.
Okay.
Because I love.
That's so fucking wacky. I love it.
I love everything about this song. I just do.
Dude, you need to listen to Primus for sure.
I have listened to Primus.
Well, the more I say you need to listen to Primus, the more you're going to say I need to listen to Zappa, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not familiar with Primus, but I have parsed through several albums.
For sure.
Anyway, I love everything about this song. It's the best first song of an album I think I've ever heard.
Dude, he just puts his dick right on the table. It's like fucking bah.
Yeah.
God damn. Yep. It's like Popeye's arm. Just drop it on the table.
If you got a big dick, sometimes all you got to do is walk into a bar and pull it out.
Just fucking drop it on the table. and he did it well, sir. He did it very well.
He did it very well. Yeah. All right. So, what's your number 1?
My number 1. Oh, my number 1 for sure. Gun Street Girl.
Okay.
Gun Street Girl for sure.
Yeah. Well, do you know what my number 1 is?
What's that?
I thought
it was Big Black Mariah.
No, it's absolutely Gun Street Girl. It's
Gun Street Girl. Damn it. Yeah, it is. It really is, though.
I mean, come on, man. Mm-hmm. I can see where you thought Big Black Mariah, cause man, but that falls right there with Tango for me, at the 3 and 4 spot.
Well, I thought you had seen the Keith Richards thing where he
I hadn't.
Yeah, I thought, I fucked around and thought you did some research. Well,
no. Well, I did take notes, which is a stretch for me. I did take notes, and that's a stretch for me, but I did not do research. Gun Street Girl is the best song on this album.
Fuck yeah, it is.
It just is.
God damn, it's fucking awesome. And it's only like 2 chords. It's like,
it's not surprising. I didn't know that, but it's not surprising.
Yeah, man, it's like fucking like, what was it, D minor and A7.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
it's just, it's beautiful. I love that, and also it's a fuck you breakup song. That's why thank God I brought that back. Yes, because John kissed a Gun Street girl. He did a bunch of robberies to fucking make her fucking happy. Then he had to leave and
lay low.
he fucking dyed his hair in the bathroom of Texaco.
Yep.
He moved to Indiana, and then he fucking, and he didn't have a dog. He had a fucking dog or whatever the fuck. Yeah, man, fucking Jesus Christ. It's a whole fucking epic. And then he fucking, and at the end, what's the line?
I don't know. I don't have the lyrics pulled up.
Strung by a skinny millionaire. Tied up with the skinny millionaire. John, he's long gone. Tied her up with a skinny millionaire. Yeah. Cause they made a fucking, it's a whole fucking, it's a heist. It's a fucking heist bit.
Tied her to a tree with a skinny millionaire, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With her fireman's raincoat and her long yellow hair.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's, I had to pull up the lyrics cause you were, I couldn't bear you trying to figure it out anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's the best song on the album. It
really is.
It's simple. It's fun. It's super bluesy. He uses a goddamn anvil, and a banjo, and, who knows what else. And it's like this, like, just fucking Southern blues song. And I love it. I love everything about this song.
It's gorgeous.
It's amazing. So I don't know. If you're listening to this, to us talk and ramble on and gush about this, listen to this album. It's gonna make your whole fucking week. Like, it's wonderful.
Yep.
There is some stuff you can skip, like we said, our P songs are there. Mostly the ballads. He doesn't do a great ballad. But he does fantastic with that just like fucking, Southern jazz feel. His influences are obvious. Well, maybe not, but, that Southern jazzy feel is just like, I feel like that Louis Armstrong, Robert Johnson kind of like Delta blues jazz musician, well, maybe even like Chicago jazz musician too, because Louis Armstrong eventually went up to Chicago, right? But like, there's some organ and accordion and there's just all kinds of stuff here. And it's really complex, and we've probably done a very poor job of explaining what the fuck is going on. Yeah. But it's wonderful nonetheless.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 20 from
Slanted Enchanted to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
Where would you put it?
Man, this is right there. This is right there. This is right there, man. It's
right there with what?
It's a tough call, but it is right there with like Beck, Neil Young, Led Zeppelin, Elton John. Like, those are my top 4. Mm-hmm. And but in 4 to 1 reverse order.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to put it in those. I don't. I Off the Wall is my number 5. Like, it's top 5 material, and I don't know where to put it inside of that. I really don't. I think he does as good a job as all of those artists. I think he does just as good, like just as phenomenally with the style he's going with some of his songs, like Gun Street Girl, for instance, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And he does just as good with those songs, and Tango to Their Soar and Cemetery Polka and Big Black Mariah and Singapore that, Beck does with Deborah and Elton John does with All the Young Girls Love Alice. Like, he does just as good with some of these songs. So it's hard to put him down. I'm gonna put it in there with Physical Graffiti.
Okay.
in between number 1 and number 2, really.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm gonna put it just under Refused.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that low with it?
I am. Because
Why?
there are way too many songs that are just, look, there are way too many songs that don't hit me. Hanging
Okay.
Down Low, Time, Blind Love, Downtown Train, Anywhere I Lay My Head, Union Square. Half his album is just bullshit.
It's kind of crap, yeah.
Yeah, when he hits it high, but
You're right.
damn, like,
You're right.
I don't like half this fucking album. When I like
You're right.
I fucking like it, but damn, like, I love Singapore, Clap Hands, Cemetery. I love about a third of this album. But the third that hits, I don't like at all.
Okay, I'm going to revise mine then. The third of this album that hits belongs up there with the top 5. The rest of it can go fuck
But
off.
you have to, as a whole album. You know
So,
what I mean?
yeah, I was a little bit blinded by some Gun Street there. So realistically, if you include the half of this album that can fuck off, this is probably down by like Wish You Were Here or Kill 'Em All.
Yeah. I think that's a good place.
Yeah. When you put it that way,
you were the one that fucking said we had a goddamn halo effect on his fucking...
Yeah, and I do. I feel that with this album. I really do.
For sure, you have a halo effect, but remember, hang down your head for glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that
when
fucking
you put
song?
it that way,
time to get... Yeah, fuck.
it pushes the album way down because the whole album isn't good. But about a third of this album belongs in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when he fucking hits it, man,
It's fantastic.
it's bliss. Is what it is.
Well, no. Here's the thing. He does 1/3 good, 1/3 okay, and 1/3 bad.
Yeah, you're not
You know
wrong.
what I mean?
You're not wrong.
And you gotta take that whole idea into account.
Yeah, I still think it makes. I mean, it's still top half, 100%.
For sure, top half for sure.
Because I think the good in this album outweighs the bad considerably.
It does,
Because the bad, like, even with the bad on this album, I was kind of just, my reaction was just kind of, whatever. And versus, like, the bad of, like, some of the stuff at the bottom, like Slanted and Enchanted, I was just like, this is dog shit. This is offensive to my ears. You know what I mean? Like, this is an assault.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I think I think you did a good job of talking me off the ledge there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot. I don't really have a lot more to say other than listen to this goddamn album.
Yeah, no, listen to it. It's a very unique ride.
It is.
I like it because it does a lot of things. He does a lot of things in this album. Like
This
a lot of
album's
things.
I just thought of this. This album's a clown car. Because it's got a lot more songs than you think should fit in it.
Yeah. There's 19 songs in this album.
Yeah.
And
it's way too long.
well, depending on the song.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps his songs short, for the most part. So the 19 songs go by in like an hour and a half, but there's too much.
I think he tried to do a lot and compress it into short time. But
yeah,
when he hits fucking gold, it's fucking gold.
Yeah.
Well,
one would say diamonds and gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Some men will do it for diamonds, some men will do it for gold. That's also one of those fucking drippy songs. Anyway, I give it a fair shake. It's an album worth listening to.
It is. It's
an album worth listening to.
Yeah, I think it's a good album to listen to complete one time through.
Yeah.
And then pick and choose what you like and what you don't like, and keep going back to that.
Yeah, for sure. Then chicken peck what you want, because I'm Gun Street Girl, Big Black Mariah, Take Her to the Soar, Singapore, Clap Hands, Clap Hands, Knife and Hennepin.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all fun. They're all fun songs. Anyway, well, I think we said all the things we need to say, Andrew. Go ahead and take us home, Bubby.
Sure. Find us wherever you find your podcasts. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, sadpandapresents.com. Don't bother. Facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast. That's where we'll actually interact with you. Rate, review, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Talk to us. Tell us what you thought. Suggest an album. We might do it. I don't know. Whatever. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you all have a good night and better tomorrow. Bye.
Later.
Is there something I can do? Things that we